Girl power. Girl power.
Tamara's like,
I was like, no,
you're doing it today. And
this
they
is the deadline.
dragged me out
Yeah.
there. I mean, I was literally, I think I was like, I had 103 fever.
Oh, no! This is beyond.
Man cold.
Man cold.
Man
cold. They just don't understand, Warren.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
Don't get it.
It's real.
Wow.
Classic pop culture. It's classic pop culture. Hosted by Steve Ludwig and Planet Ludwig. It's classic pop culture. It's classic pop culture. Classic pop culture.
Everybody, this is your pal and fellow fan of pop culture, Steve Ludwig, welcoming you to another edition of Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture, right here at planetludwig.com. Before we get started, don't you just love our pop culture theme song at the beginning of each show? Well, I must say, thank you, Joe Mandica, Australia's gift to the world of pop music. Joe is the writer, producer, and performer of our pop culture theme song, and he is a true friend of the show. And speaking of true friends of the show, how are all of you doing? Thank you so much for joining us. We love you for it. We've landed safely and peacefully at Planet Ludwig, and here we are, episode number 175. And on this edition, my guests are three of the most gifted people in the entertainment business. Olivia Rox, 22-year-old pop goddess, has already cemented her place in popular music, yet she would never think of resting on her laurels. Her non-stop, prolific music career includes writing all her own music, being a finalist on American Idol and America's Got Talent, 2 full-length CDs, singles, a top 10 Christmas single, millions of views of her YouTube music videos, directed by her mom, Tamara. Plus, Olivia's vocal range is breathtaking, as you'll hear. Olivia's parents, Warren and Tamara, have resumes as impressive as anyone in the business. Warren Hill, the legendary jazz saxophonist, has sold over 1 million records, including Shelter from the Storm, co-written and co-produced with his wife, Tamara. Warren's smooth jazz cruise in 2004 paved the way for the music cruise industry that's so popular today, and his Cancun Jazz Festival continues to sell out year after year. Tamara Van Cleef-Hill is the founder, president, and CEO of Songbird Music Group. Tamara has broken barriers for women in the competitive music business, all the while never losing hold of her belief that the artists and their art rank above all else. Tamara has composed, arranged, and produced music in a number of genres. She's produced all of her daughter Olivia's music. How could a family who's such a driving force in the entertainment business be as grounded and humble as Olivia, Tamara, and Warren? Well, you'll see and hear for yourself right now as we go to our interview, recorded just a few days ago. So it's time now for me to shut my mouth and let the real talent take over. Get ready for an exclusive announcement from Olivia, Tamara, and Warren, made publicly for the first time during our interview. And you talk about talent overload, everybody. Here they are. Olivia Rox, Tamara Van Cleef-Hill, and Warren Hill. welcome to Classic Pop Culture, everyone. It is so great. I'm so honored to have so much talent on my show, and I mean that sincerely. It's so great to have you all here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Great to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
It's a pleasure. It really is. Now,
Okay.
Warren.
Warren's a comedian.
I didn't know talent was a prerequisite, so I'll leave now. Okay, see you.
Wow, nice trying to get out of it.
Wow.
Warren, you're my kind of guy. I'm telling you right now, believe me. My wife always asked me, with my silly sense of humor, when am I going to grow up? And I said, I don't know. I'll let you know. She said, well, let me know what you want to be when you grow up. So anyway, I think the first thing I want to talk about, first of all, Olivia, congratulations on the success of It's Christmas Time. What a super video. Congratulations on the award. The Hollywood Music and Media Awards. Out of, I think there were 10 nominees and you won the award. I mean, how does that feel? It's a rhetorical question, but how you feel about that?
Well, thank you. It's been amazing. And to hear the response from this song has been incredible. I just did an interview the other day and they said, so what made you choose It's Christmas Time? Because they thought it was a classic song. But the funny thing is that I wrote the song. So it was just so surreal to get to write and record and work with my dad on the song. And my mom, of course, she produced this as well. So it was a genuine family affair and we just had a blast.
Yes, and I'm going to jump in and tell you something funny. Olivia and I were in the British Virgin Islands when we heard about the nomination, which is why if you saw her acceptance speech, she's on a sailboat.
I don't normally just act like that, yes, I'm on a sailboat.
We were literally on the water and they said, we need your acceptance speech right now. We're like, wait, we're on a boat. We don't have anything with us. So we just staged this whole thing and then contacted Warren, who was in Cancun, running his festivals.
Yes.
And we said, hey, we need, and of course, guess what he does? He gets a full film crew to film him. Meanwhile, we're on an iPhone on the sailboat.
He sends me this fully professional and edited piece. I'm like,
30 years in the business, what less would you expect of Warren?
Exactly.
Makeup done, everything else.
I didn't even have my makeup done. He had his makeup done.
It's a normal day for me.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Okay.
For those who didn't see the acceptance speech, I did. I had the pleasure of, actually, Mike D'Urso sent me the link. Do you remember what you said? Could you, kind of repeat your feelings of what it was like to win this award?
Basically, well, they give you about 30 seconds to fit all of your thanks in with every single person that's worked on the song. So the gist of what I said was basically, it was such an honor to get to win for this award, and that it was more meaningful because I actually recorded it with my dad. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is, it's always been a running joke. He's always saying one day he's going to open for me because, I always grow up performing in his shows. So for once, I actually got him on one of my songs. And that was quite an honor and just a really cool kind of tide shifting type of ordeal to get to do something together on,
Yeah, I mean, as if your talent, your amazing talent weren't enough to have your dad add the brilliant saxophone to it. It was like icing on the cake.
Thank you.
And Tamara, you were also nominated for a couple other awards too for It's Christmas Time. Am I correct?
Well, the song itself, I produced, so I like to say we all three won the award.
Yes, yeah.
Even though they didn't thank me, it's fine.
Oh no!
Ouch. Just worrying about the boat,
Olivia rocks that song. She wrote that song. One night we were recording. I'm like, Warren, you're on this song. He's like, okay, cool. And so I was super proud that we did that as a family.
But you and I were also nominated for Best Producer.
That's correct.
On Go Vote.
Best Producer as
which
well.
Was pretty
yes, of course. Yeah.
And that was a really important song. during the election, and it wasn't about who you're voting for. It was about going and voting and getting young people out there who would normally not go to the polls. And what was the number, Olivia?
About 400,000 people registered to vote through the campaigns that I was working on. I was working with the Grammy Foundation and Spread the Vote and Global Citizen and Headcount. It was just an incredible conceptualization. Even I was talking to my publicist. This is probably like 2 months before the election, I would say.
Yeah.
And they said that a bunch of these campaigns wanted me to be involved. And I was like, wow, that'd be so amazing. I'd love to. I think it's a really important cause. And I just said it in passing. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if there was a song?
And they said, there's no voting songs.
Yeah.
And Miss
Really?
Olivia, he literally sits down at the piano. What did you write it in? Like, I don't even know.
Probably an hour or two. And I called the publicist back to go, okay, you guys have to hear this. So they got everyone on the phone, the whole team. And I played the song right there, just through the phone. And we literally went from that. My mom and we literally just created this whole vision from scratch in 2 weeks. Literally from the time I wrote the song to when it was released, it was 2 weeks.
And remember, we were in a pandemic. We were locked down. So I had to literally produce this song from home and call everybody, and it was crazy. It was a different way of producing. And then the music video, they're like, we need a video. We're like, how are we supposed to do a video? Which that's quite a funny story, right, Liv?
Oh man. Well, basically, we did it in our living room. And we set up these ginormous green screens. My dad did set up the green screens with me. So we've got to give him credit for that.
Props for that. But yes, we went on Amazon. We got the biggest green screens we could get. And they all came. We just put them all together, made a giant green screen out of our living room.
Yeah.
And filmed. If you watch that video, I'm not impressed. I'm proud of that because of what we accomplished. 2 girls, girl power. Yes. On our own, and we literally made that happen.
Well, yeah, and normally like
2 of us,
most of our music videos have 50 people on set. They're giant productions, and so this was literally us.
It was us too, and I was holding the camera, and I was doing the lighting, and I was doing the wardrobe, and so it was insane. And right, Liv? We pulled that off.
It was pretty cool. So to be nominated for that was really cool.
Yeah, and you know what, both of you, and for the green scheme, but thank you for your efforts.
Oh,
and getting the vote out. It was, not to get up. We can go on to a whole political tangent, but I'm being sarcastic. I love when some people say, you know what, I don't like either candidate. I'm not voting. Vote for someone, vote for the better of the two, or that's I don't know, it just seems obvious to me, but thank you.
The fact that we have the right to vote and people squander that is a crime to me.
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Especially in young people too. Young people just think their voices don't matter.
Yeah.
And we prove that they do matter. Your voice does matter.
It was the largest youth voter turnout in years.
Yeah, in like 50 years or something. Some crazy number.
It was really cool.
Hey girl, you're the it girl. Showing stuff this way before. The screen gallery, what's all just all alone. I know you don't think you matter. One voice won't make it better. But standing in a crowd is love. This is our superpower. Everybody wants to speak their mind. Yet so many will stand by as 4 years go by. We can't shout it from the rooftops. We can't scream it loud and non-stop. We can write it down on a note. Everyone get out and go vote. Go vote. I hear about the talk on the streets that nobody is ever listening. And why would anybody hear me if I was just a cog in the machine? If everybody thought they were small, then why should anybody speak at all? Everybody wants to speak their mind, yet so many will stand by as
It was really cool.
I want to watch It's Christmas Time in a second. But Warren, I mean, here you are, over 1 million records sold, 14, 15 CDs, I lost count. You've been all over the world. You've all been all over the world. What was it like performing in such a brilliant song with your daughter?
Well, I think, was this the first time I've actually played on one of your songs?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I know I've sang on some of your songs in the album, but
Yeah.
I think this was the first tune that I wrote that you played on.
so that was a long time coming, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we knew it would happen eventually, but it had to be the right scenario. And I think, you know, Christmas is all about family, and it made total sense, you know, to have me on there. I'm remembering the session actually, though, and without getting into details, but I was quite ill at the time. I was recovering from being really, really sick, and they kind of forced me to do the session. I was like, oh man, could it be next week or whatever? And
Girl power.
Tamara was like,
No.
you're doing it today. And
This
they
is the deadline.
dragged me up, and I literally, I think I was like, I had 103 fever.
Oh,
no! Yeah.
Man cold.
Man cold.
Man
Yeah,
cold.
They just don't understand, Warren.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Don't get it.
It's real.
Wow.
Okay, so Steve, have you seen the video Man Cold? The British
Oh.
video?
No.
Oh,
You just look
you
it up
have
on
to watch
YouTube when you're going, the man cold. It's the most hilarious thing ever.
very
And you'll
funny.
understand the reference that we're talking about.
Yes.
But
yes.
So I know all about man code and you know what.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing thing, and I'm glad they, you know, dragged me out of bed and made me do it. And of course, I would have done it anyway. I'm just making a joke out of it. But
Because we're men.
yes.
Yes.
And then, you know, I think the next phase that I'm waiting for is when I get to open up for Olivia. You know,
Yeah.
that's on stage.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Natural progression.
You're gonna open, or you're gonna just be a sideman on the band?
Oh, no.
Well,
No.
first I'm going to carry her guitar. You know, I'll be the roadie. And
If she allows you.
He already is already.
If she allows you to, Warren.
yeah,
Yes, exactly.
Don't drop it, Dad.
We all razz each other. This is part of our
Dynamic.
Our dynamic, I guess. That's a dynamic. So
Yeah.
just so you know, this is all we're always
We
on each other.
all, you know, like to pretend that we hate each other, but we actually love we love each other.
It's obvious the family is such a great dynamic with you guys. And it shows in the videos as well. And I want to get into that. How about if we watch It's Christmas Time?
Let's do it.
And it's just such a cozy, loving family video. Let's check it out right now, okay? Enjoy, everybody. It's Christmas Time, Olivia Rox.
It's Christmas time. Have the time of your life. It's time to celebrate. You know you just can't wait for Christmas time. I wanna see the snow falling down and a love all around. I wanna see your heart wrapped up in joy. I remember those sleepless nights with dream-filled eyes and peppermint skies above. I remember sitting at your bed, waiting long instead. Couldn't wait to tell you I'd heard it snow. It's Christmas time. Have the time of your life. It's time to celebrate. You know you just can't wait
It's Christmas time. Now that's the type of song that is undoubtedly, as Christmas after Christmas, it's just going to gain more and more momentum, as if there isn't enough momentum already, Olivia, with this, with you winning the award. But it's such a beautiful, cozy, warm feeling video, and it's so well done.
Thank you. It was cool because it was sort of a behind the scenes look at the recording process. And that was cool to share, because that's something that normally is very close to the chest. But it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And
I know, Tamara, you direct the videos as well as produce them. Was it Henri Lepew? Was he giving you any trouble in this one?
So much yes, trouble, always.
He was a pain in the ass directing. The fire hand was there to take over it now. So I like this little thing. I always put Warren in the videos. I always do a cameo with Warren, so anyone who knows us knows that. A lot of people have no idea that it's him, because he's such a great actor. People don't know that about Warren, and he can do voices, like every voice, and he's so funny. So I have to put him in there. So yes, he was Henri Lepew.
Yes, and the It Girl. I'll get back to that, but Olivia, I just want to quote one of your lyrics from the song. I want to hear the bells on the tree and be with my family. I only need you when I'm happy. That is the spirit of Christmas. It's in that couplet there. It's just beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
When I'm a retired English teacher, so I get nerdy about writing and things like that. And I just have to ask you, when you write, now I saw one of your videos, so I think I might know, but do you, are you at the computer typing, or are you a legal pad type of person, just writing, crossing out? And how do you write your lyrics down?
Oh man, it depends. It depends on what the inspiration is. Sometimes I'll be, at my piano, and so I'll have maybe my phone or my iPad, but I also have so many books and journals. It's sort of an obsession at this point. I probably have a problem. It's hysterical. I used to be that kid who would bring a journal with me everywhere, writing my little books. And so I do think there's something really cool about having something tactile, when you can actually flip back, and it's almost like flipping through your memories, right? On your phone, it's a different thing because it's portable. When I'm touring or whatever, I always do it on my phone just because it's the most convenient thing. Yeah. But when I get the opportunity, I like to be inspired by some paper. And I also have an issue with doing it on loose paper. I find that I do a lot of my lyrics on loose paper, and that does not always end well because some lyrics have gone missing.
Where's the other verse I had here?
Yeah.
Warren, how about you, Warren? When you write your music down, are you a legal pad guy?
No, I mean, for me, it's usually instrumental ideas. So I use either, back in the old days, it was a dictaphone around with me wherever I was. I've written songs like on a chairlift, downhill skiing, and
wherever the spirit hits you.
Wherever it hits you, you just got to have that thing. But we didn't have iPhones and things back then, so in the 90s. But then when the iPhone came in, you got the little voice memo app. That was like a game changer for me too. So I just have a lot of, if I'm walking, I usually have to be out of my normal element, doing something where I'm alone with my thoughts. That's kind of scary. Yeah. I just, jot down the ideas. But Olivia is kind of a freak of nature. She will, when she starts a song, she sits down and finishes it. It's all one process, in 1 hour, like she said, the other song, Go Vote. It's crazy to watch. I mean, as a musician for, my entire career and everything, and being a songwriter, Tamara and I have written songs. We wrote we had Hot AC, top 20 song that we've written, and some other stuff that we wrote together. And for us, it's a process. And I spend a month on a song. Yeah. Olivia just does it in an hour, and it just makes me so bloody jealous. I can't even believe it. Oh. She's doing the words, the music, the melody, the harmony, the arrangement, the whole thing is done.
Complete. It's complete. Yeah.
We kind of if you're witnessing it from the other room, you don't interrupt her, but it's like you kind of see that process that she goes through, and it's incredible. It's incredible to watch. I don't know what sort of, was it extra Wheaties we gave her when she was a kid, or I don't know.
Warren, if she keeps it up, I just wouldn't carry her guitar anymore if I were you.
Yep.
No,
what's going on here?
Charger.
Tamara, I have to, first of all, I have to give you all the props in the world for you being the president and CEO of the Songbird Music Group Incorporated. And if I may paraphrase the mantra, artists first, artists create, and you take care of the business. That's so commendable. Can you talk about that a bit with me?
Yes. Well, I've been in this business a long time, and I feel like all of the things I've been doing for all these years have come to a culmination to this moment of running this label. And I feel like with the artists, Olivia being one, Warren being one, and other ones that we are nurturing at the moment, we like to take it like it's literally a boutique label where we can take every artist to their fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is our motto. Like I want to, from A to Z, like take that artist and let them dream big and go for that, and be true to who they are as an artist. Because I was an artist years ago, an alternative rock singer, and I was told what, they tried to tell me what to be like and what to sing, and I just, I did to a certain extent, what's the word I'm looking for? Let them mold me a little bit.
You almost have to, though, right? Warren, you know that. Sure, you know that, yeah.
But I hated it. I wanted to be the artist that I wanted to be. And I think that's really our motto, is like for Olivia, we let her be herself, let her be free as an artist. And I think that's super important, because you're not getting, CEOs of a label or managers, of a label telling you who to be as an artist. You're getting the purest form of the artist with Songbird, like the real deal,
And if I may jump in,
I don't know if I explained that well. But...
No, I think so. Absolutely. I think another cool thing though about my mom, and why I respect her opinion so much, is that she's not a yes woman. That could be artists first could be construed as, oh, we let you do whatever the heck you want, it's all you. But the cool thing about her is that she's very honest with everyone. And if something is not working, she's going to be the first one to tell you. She's going to be the first one to explain it to you, the industry, and this is why this is happening. This is what we should do to fix this. What do you think? You know what I mean? So it's a very
which is what, as an artist, of course you want, right? And
oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. You never want someone around you who's just going to be like, oh, you're amazing, you've got you know what I mean, and just stroking your ego. It's not what you want to grow as an artist. So it's really, I think the way that she is a CEO is she does help artists grow to their fullest potential.
Well, I'm a creative CEO, and that's the difference with most of the people I've dealt with at some of the bigger labels, is they're not creative. Sorry, but it's true. And
I mean, yeah,
there are a few great ones. Matter of fact, I'm not going to name names, but someone who was at Warner Brothers was one of the most creative ones, who I adore. He signed Olivia to her first deal when she was 15. But anyway, I like to, like with Olivia, when she writes a song, I like to call myself the protector of the vision. I know that sounds really weird, but
no, it's very, very well put.
Yeah, because people try to take that song and say, oh, no, you need to go to this part, or you need to, she's got it so ingrained in her head. This girl's written, like, I don't even know, I've lost count, hundreds and hundreds of songs. And literally when we go in to produce it, I know her vision and I keep that intact for her, and I think that's what's giving her her own sound. Is, she's not just following the trends of whatever. Oh, Shawn Mendes is doing this. Okay, I like what Shawn Mendes is doing, but let's, maybe we do like the guitar part a little closer to his sound because that's happening on radio, something like that. But that's as far as we ever get to. copying whoever else is on the radio.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to the radio, everything starts to sound the same.
And it's so fleeting as
Tamara,
well.
yes, I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to stay true to the art that we're making, that's coming out of us pure. And I'm the most proud of that. And that takes it from the song to the video to everything we're doing is part of that, like making that song have a life of its own.
Sure. Olivia, there is, after looking, watching many of your videos, especially preparing for this interview, there is an Olivia Rox sound that does set you apart from your peers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And even the videos, Tamara, so many props to you. The videos are just so much fun and interesting to watch. And I like the prologues in many of them. It's just, it's Olivia Rox incorporated almost, because you know what you're getting with Olivia Rox, that it's not just Tamara, like you said, it's not just another, now who's this on the radio? It could be 20 people because they all sound the same, but you have your own style, Olivia, and it's really, as a music lover, it's appreciated.
Oh, I'm not a corporate artist. I think that's the most important thing, and it's about being a true artist, I think, is really just not compromising. Do you know what I mean? And saying, it's almost like peer pressure, right? If everyone's jumping, are you going to jump? So
yeah. And like your mom said, Tamara, like you said, Warren, you've been with RCA, EMI, Warner Brothers, of course, without naming names, but I'm sure you've seen your share of a lot of garbage executives, excuse my phraseology there, but I'm sure you've had to put up with a lot of this stuff that with Songbird Music you don't have to.
No, it's true. What Tamara's saying is unfortunately true in the business. A lot of we've been around long enough to have known some really special music people at the labels, but most of them are gone and they're replaced by lawyers and bean counters. That's pretty much who's running these labels now. They're letting social media kind of A&R records and choose artists now, really, instead of visionaries like David Geffen or Clive Davis or whoever. They're just long gone from the scene, and it's sad because I think the public is worthy of more than just the 4 or 5 artists that they continually cram down everybody's throats in pop music, and I like to give them a little more credit and have a little more musical taste than what the big labels seem to think they do. But I always say to Olivia, I just say it's a global market now. Your audience will find you. Just keep putting out quality. Just put out the highest quality music you can make, and the highest quality videos you can make. And just keep putting it out. Your audience will find you.
Absolutely. Great. Well put.
And judging from the views on your Olivia Rox music YouTube channel, they found you, Olivia. No doubt about that.
Thank you. I love my fans so much. It's amazing. I get these comments from people all over the world, and they'll say things like, I just randomly came across this video or heard it on the radio, or I saw it. Right now they're playing in movie theaters, which is so cool. And
wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. But people will write to me and they make me feel so good. I'm pleased to say that I don't have a lot of negative comments. Of course, I think everyone gets some, but I feel really blessed to have the fans that I do.
I don't think you've made it till you have haters.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Yes. That's when you know you've made it, right?
Exactly.
Everyone has their own opinion, and we got this one comment this morning, which really meant a lot, because it was from a guy. Warren, you can help embellish this because you sent it to me. And he said something like, I came across this video. It's not even my kind of music. I think he listens like heavy metal or something, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, and the video, he's like, I turned it on and I just kept going with it and listening to it. And I realized it was like this mini movie. And he's like, I am a fan now. He's like, the cinematography, her singing, he's like, not even my kind of music, but I'm a fan. And I was like, yes. And that's what's important to me. Like, yeah, I think, when we're making these music videos, they're mini movies, and life is short. And I think comedy is really, really important. We're finding
Oh,
that
absolutely, yeah.
more and more our niche right now is comedy. With the music, the music could be serious, right? But there's so much negativity in the world right now that I feel like putting some positivity and giving someone not just a video with a sexy girl who's twerking, like how about a little story that's gonna,
brighten your day.
exactly. So
Yeah,
put some
yeah.
positivity back in. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just having fun. You got music's fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Add something to your day and let you escape for your 6-7 minutes with the videos too. It's
Exactly.
and I mean, Tamara, it's impossible for you, I'm sure, to put this in just a few words, but as a director, you obviously have a vision for each video. What's the most important thing about bringing out that vision that you have? Am I making myself clear? I don't even know if I'm.
No, listen, first of all, I have a great partner in crime in Olivia. She's my muse. She's a blast. She adds so much to it. I mean, we work hard on these videos. They're little movies, mini movies.
They are. They are
You see
great.
the next one coming.
Mm-hmm.
We have one coming out in January, her next single, and it's called "Been This Way Before." And it's like,
spoiler.
well, it's okay. That's the next single. I pre-announced it, but it's exciting. It's exciting, and so exciting. I'm going to segue. You're asking of why, why it's important. I don't know why it's important. We're just having fun doing it, and it brings the song to life, and it's each one has a life of its own. But Olivia and I just wrote a screenplay, and we have a new production company, and we're moving into that as well of movie making. So I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations! Oh, fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Olivia, you want to jump in there because I didn't really answer the question.
Yeah,
No, I think you gave an answer, but please, Olivia, add.
Yeah, I think she really brings out the best in people, because just even, I think probably it stems from being a great mom, that when you're on set with people, she's sort of like the mom for, 50 to 100 people. And everyone knows that she's not like an angry director who, if you don't get the right take, she's going to yell at you. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, let's get this better. You can do better. And she's had so many people who have contacted her after the fact, or even at the wrap of the shoot, who say, you were my favorite director that I've ever worked with. You were the best director I've ever worked with. And I think that is probably the highest compliment that you can receive as a director. Because these actors, these crew, they've worked with everyone. They've worked on, Netflix productions and the big labels and like across the board. So to hear a compliment like that, I know that makes you feel really good.
Literally, I have chills from you saying that, because it means the most to me. I mean, I'm gonna cry right now because, on Princess, the Italian actor who plays Olivia's love interest, his name is Federico Pedroni, and he's a big actor in Italy.
He's a big actor.
He's a good one. My wife's Italian, so I've got that down.
Hey. He's drop dead gorgeous. He's a fantastic actor, and he's the sweetest guy in the whole world. And he literally wrote me this letter afterwards of just what a great director I am, and how I brought things out of him that no one had ever done. And it was beautiful, and we still stay in touch. And it's things like that really, really matter. And there was another guy who was on going way back, this movie that we made, and he's become like a big actor out here in Hollywood.
He does all of these stunts. He's so cool.
I think we cast him in one of his first things, and he was one of the lead roles in this film that I directed, and he said the same things to me, and we still stay in touch. And I'm so proud of him. He's on Walking Dead. He's on everything. And it's
wow, one of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
so good.
So that's important. Supporting the arts and embracing these actors. I mean, they're working hard and trying to give them a platform where they can shine. That means a lot, too.
And Olivia, I know you can speak to this as well, but Tamara, the people that act in your videos, whatever you say to them, they know you have their best interest in mind. So they're not going to take it personally, like, doesn't she like me? Like, I don't even know, what goes on the set, but I'm sure they realize that you're there for them to make them the best they can be.
I hope so, because that is absolutely true.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love everybody on our sets, and I think it's important to love the people you're working with and like the people, and we like to create a really positive environment where everyone's having fun. Our sets are never stressful or catty, or they're
Mhm.
just, and I've been on sets like that. Ours are just, we're all just so happy. It's like we become a family,
Mhm.
And so they should feel safe there. And that I want to make them feel safe so that they can do their best work too.
Well, it's a projection. The three of you are such a beautiful family, and it just kind of projects onto the set. That's who you are. You and Warren. I mean, I was going to say this till the end, Tamara, but I want to say it now. I taught for 38 years, and you can tell with your students. I taught 8th grade students. You can tell who has a good family life, who aren't as lucky to have great parents. But Warren and Tamara, I have to give you a million hugs and kisses, because obviously Olivia was brought up correctly, and Olivia, obviously you've learned well from your parents, and it's just I can't say enough good things about you guys as the family.
Thank you for that. And I just want to say thank you for being, I bet you were an amazing teacher, are an amazing teacher. And I wish you were my teacher, because I can tell that you care about your students.
Thank you very much. I'm retired, but you know what? When I knew I'd been teaching for a while, I don't want to take up any of your time, but I knew had been teaching a while when my wife and I received a Christmas card years ago from an ex-student with a picture of she and her husband's baby. And I said, I've been teaching for a while now, but it's so great that they're friends now. They're adults and they're friends with me. So many of my students, and, but anyway, I just wanted to use that as an example of, I know I speak from experience that you can tell when families are great, and yours absolutely is.
Thank you.
That means a lot, because we love our family unit, and it's a tough thing, I'll tell you, to just to segue for a minute, to be a family working in Hollywood, because there aren't many, that I could name. I'm trying to think of people like the Azovs.
And there's a lot of preconceived notions about said families.
The Azovs, the Will Smith, those guys, they all work together. But like to work in business and everything else, we went to this billboard thing, and Azov and Irving were up there talking about nepotism and how, what did he say? Nepotism rules. Somebody, like the interviewer asked him, what do you think about people saying, you bring Jeffrey in, and I think his daughter works with him too. And he's like, are you kidding me? Nepotism rules.
Yeah, I love nepotism.
Richard Branson, his whole family works with him too. And they're amazing. Like he's priming his kids to take over Virgin and all that. And, the thing is, to be honest with you, we did not ask Olivia to be in this business. We were doing our own thing, and she just was like, I want to do this. And we're like, no, you don't want to be in the music.
You can be a doctor, you can do all of these other things.
Olivia, when did you notice? When did you say, you know what? I like performing.
Well, it's going to sound comical, because the first time I went on stage, I was 2.
2.5.
2.5. Yes, the half is a big.
Do you even remember that? No, right?
I don't remember that exact performance, but I do remember the hundreds of performances after, which that I think just it all just evolved for me. It was never something like, oh, this is my career. I'm a singer now. It was always like, I'm a singer. That's who I am at heart. I think really the turning point for me, and the moment that I realized, okay, this is a career, had to be after I played Annie on stage, because that was a different level. I had to have.
How old were you? Excuse me. How old were you when you performed, when you were Annie?
9.
I was 9. Yeah.
9.
Mm-hmm.
And she did 75 shows. And one of the youngest kids ever to be nominated for an Ovation Award for her acting. So That was crazy. And I think, not to cut you off,
No, go,
Olivia,
yeah.
but I mean, for Warren and I, because we'd have to drop her off every night and pick her up. And I think we probably saw like ins and outs of like 45 shows we counted one time. And we were so proud of her. And we're like, okay, and these people were from Broadway, and they would come up to her. Like, well, who's the lead guy from Cats from Broadway came to see her?
Yeah, one of those Lion King
or something. And they were like, she's a little Judy Garland. Like her pitches, like her breathing, everything about her singing and her cues and her acting, the instincts were there, and you can't ignore that, you know. And so at some point we're kind of like, wow, this is happening. Like,
I remember, I think she was 8 years old when we Tamara and I had a serious discussion about it, saying, okay, it's kind of inevitable. This is going to happen, you know. As parents, it's like you want to let your kid, whatever lane they're gravitating toward, you want to, like, you know, make sure,
support that.
you know, clear the traffic, let them do it. But at the same time, you know, she had to work for it.
Yeah.
We weren't just gonna give her whatever she wanted, you know. It's like, all right, you can do it as long as you get this, that you get your school.
I had a lot of chore charts.
Yeah, and you know, there was a lot of it was a rewards system, you know. And if she didn't practice in between her lessons were over, you know. But we realized when she was 8. For me, I think the watershed moment for me was Korea. When we traveled, we had like 24 hours of flying to get to Korea, and we got off the plane and had to go straight to what their version of NBC's Rockefeller Center, and
it's MB.
They call it Mary NBC. And we get there, and we thought it was just, we're going to do this television show, and she guessed it on my record, I Want to Know What Love Is, and a cover of Foreigner classic.
Yes,
and it was popular over there, and they wanted us to perform it. We just thought it was gonna be this small thing. We come in there, there's 5,000 people crammed into this square. There's a huge stage set up, and we just landed, and we're gonna go live on television in like 3 hours. And we haven't slept. We haven't slept in like 36 hours, right? So they got a little cot in the dressing room, and so we couldn't sleep, you know, like lie down. And
they had pink sheets. Do you remember?
Yeah,
it was so cute.
Yeah, I remember.
This is the thing, like as a saxophonist, you know, if I'm sick or whatever, I could still blow through a horn and nobody knows, right? But as a singer, you can't really fake it, you know. If you're tired, this is a muscle, and if you're too tired, you can't make it work. But Olivia, I thought, okay, if you're ever going to cave, this is the moment when you're going to cave, right? As an artist. And I was secretly worried for her, but she
and
comes up, and we're about
it
to
wasn't
go
our band either. It was a Korean band.
Yeah.
So even that added,
like air guitar,
like
rehearsal,
2 times or something,
right?
Yeah.
So we walk on stage. I play the first part, and I play the first half of the song. Then I go, ladies and gentlemen, my daughter Olivia Rox, right? Little did I know that about 30 seconds before I was introducing her, she didn't have monitors,
and it's a silent stage.
Weren't working.
Wasn't it the
Silent
battery?
stage. There's no amplifiers on stage or anything.
I'm
backstage, so brown.
Quickly, so she's trying to. Nobody speaks English. She's like, I can't, you know. And they realized the batteries were dead on her little pack, right? And they're literally switching on the batteries, like
it goes click,
click, done, and she walks on stage
effortlessly,
and just.
Like
there's a video, if you see a video on her channel, and you wouldn't believe that all that was going on.
It was so stressful.
In her mind, she's probably like, I'm screwed, what am I gonna do? And she just walks out like nothing happened.
So pro.
Aced it. And I'm like, she's totally meant.
That's when you both knew, right?
Yeah.
my daughter, Olivia Rox.
That was definitely a moment. And when she was little, we never said, hey, do you want to sing on stage? Because she'd be on tour. She grew up like on tour. She was homeschooled and everything.
Mhm.
But she would come to us and say, can I sing on stage tonight? And Warren's like, okay, this is a jazz show, really? Like,
Yeah.
you gonna sing? But he was so sweet. He's like, yeah, of course. And what are you gonna sing, honey? You know, so he was novelty at first. And the funny thing is the jazz audience, jazz fans, grew up listening to Olivia, or Olivia grew up performing to them. And yeah, that's what I meant to say. Olivia grew up performing. And now to this day, they still love her.
I still have a lot of fans in the jazz community, which is really cool.
Yep. You know, I had watched a couple videos of you, Olivia, but when you mentioned Warren, when you mentioned how she, you know, you can't afford to be sick, well, you can't afford to be sick, but you have to come out with your AGT video.
Oh yeah.
You were so sick the night before. I mean, we could spend a whole other show, and I hope I can have you guys back sometime. But just to talk about America's Got Talent and American Idol, you know, and Warren and Tamara. I mean, your careers. You know, there's just so much to talk about. But can I don't want to keep you too much long, but there's a couple more videos I would love to talk about, if I may.
Sure.
And I have my lyrics down here, Olivia. So with the video shooting star, here's something that I just want to quote. Looking at the world from here is so surreal, just like a dream I know can't be real. Soaring high above the sky, I just passed cloud 9. Now, just past cloud nine. I mean, it's such a great description of how happy and how much higher can I get? I'm even above cloud nine, and that is such a brilliant lyric.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was this tune, actually, to be honest, all of the songs that I write for myself first and foremost, whether it's to help me get through something I'm going through my life, to inspire me, or just something that maybe my friends told me about and I want to write it down. I want to save that memory. Mm-hmm. This song was something for me that was all about reaching these goals that I'm reaching now. Mm-hmm. And that sort of vision for the future that I had, of you're not going to stop me. I'm a shooting star. I'm going. And we have a saying with the label, basically, the train's moving. Are you going to jump on? And in a way, that song sort of encapsulates that feeling as well, because it's not about stopping. Oh, someone needs something over here. I'm going to stop my career and stop everything in my life to do this. This is moving. This is what I do for my life. And I know that. And it was sort of a commitment to myself that I made with that song. So it was really cool to get to release that.
May we watch it right now and share it with the audience?
Go for it. Yeah, we filmed this video in London. It was very fun.
Oh, beautiful setting. Here we go, everybody. Shooting Star, Olivia Rox.
Shooting through the sky, no one can touch me here. It's like the stars will be the one who cares. Every word I say will make a wish come true. If I can dream it, then you'll see me try. There's not a person in the world to make me stop doing what I love to do. Even if you try and get me down, you know that it won't stop me now, 'cause I already know just who I am. Even if the sky's falling down, you know I'll always stand my ground, 'cause nothing's gonna ever get me down. It's like a dream, you know it can't be real, but I don't wanna pinch myself to wake me up. 'Cause I remember when I thought about this place when I was small and surely had no grace. But this is just what I thought it ought to be. Even if you try and get me down, you know that it won't stop me now, 'cause I already know just who I am. And even if the sky's falling down, you know I'll always stand my ground, 'cause nothing's gonna ever get me down.
beautiful London, beautiful video, beautiful lyrics. Olivia, again, fantastic job. Tamara, I mean, what a job directing. Now that had to be a little, I mean, with that beautiful setting, were you up against time? Like, come on, the sun's going to come up because it's at nighttime. And what did you go through with that?
Yeah, definitely. And we were in London, and I didn't have a crew or anything like that, or Warren was I think you were my lighting.
Yeah. So if the lighting gets bad, that's why. No, I'm just kidding.
I was keeping people, the passersby, to like, okay, please, go over here.
Yeah.
Over 1 million records sold, and look what how you doing, Warren.
He's directing traffic.
Yeah, it really was like that.
It was one take. That's the whole reason, right?
Right.
So,
So we should clarify. This isn't we have different levels of music videos. We have the official music videos, and those are the big budget, the big crew, the whole thing, like Princess and It Girl and Been This Way Before, Galileo, for example. And then we have the one take lyric videos. So for Shooting Star, that was technically more of a lyric video because we did the one take thing. So we did for every single song on Pop Rocks, we did a one take handheld by me, yours truly. One take video. So it was kind of like our style, and people were just loving it.
And we did it all over the world too. It was so cool.
World. The very first one we did was It Girl, not the official video.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Lyric video. And I gotta say, the camera work on that. I had actual cameramen, like lots of people asked me, who did that camera work? And I'm like, I did. Why? And they're like, it's amazing. I was like, what?
Then you said, I definitely did it.
Right.
Yep.
Do you remember we almost fell though? Because, okay, so in Cancun, this was for the It Girl lyric video that she's talking about.
Yes.
It was so humid out
Yeah.
that when you open the doors to go from inside to out, they had these beautiful marble floors in the place we were filming. Gorgeous, like stunning place. 9,000 square feet or something, like ridiculous. And every time we'd open the doors to go in and out,
my camera would fall.
Yeah. So we had to leave all the doors open. So after like 2 takes, the marble floors inside there got so slippery that we kept wiping out. So
I have no.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was so hot. Do you remember?
The stairs going up to the rooftop where we end in the video are one of those little metal round, I don't know how to describe, like
tiny
station.
Circular staircase.
And so I had to walk up and down that filming,
backwards.
Not watching where I'm walking backwards.
I was going to ask, that must have taken, I mean, along with just the humidity and everything, that must have taken forever to make that video.
No, we knocked that out in one day.
With the costume changes and everything, and
no. And Warren was actually running a festival, and we were in our suite filming this handheld music video. Yeah. And the funny thing is that when we finally did the official music video, which was like what you said, a lot of work, a lot of costumes, a lot of people, 16-hour days, all that. People were like, so why did you do another video? That other one was so good. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was the official. I'm like, no, it could have been though. I mean, in retrospect, it could have been, but I'm still proud of It Girl, the official video.
Oh yeah.
It's very cute.
And earlier, listeners, when I mentioned Henri Lepew, I'm talking about the It Girl video. Director Warren Hill, of course. I know people know where to buy music and everything, but Olivia, could you just let us know where we can get your music? And I know it's songbirdmusicgroup.com, correct, is the website, right? And how about the music, Olivia?
I think the best place for you guys to check out my music is probably my website, oliviarox.com. That has all of the links for social media and other smart links for, where you can buy it and everything. But my music is out there. I think the main thing is just make sure you spell Olivia Rox and my music will come up. But it's on Spotify and Apple Music and Pandora and iHeartRadio.
Suspects, yeah.
Yes, it's amazing.
I thought we would finish off with Now, is Princess your latest video? A month ago, I think it came out or posted?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What is it like knowing, even beyond Princess?
Yeah.
It must drive you crazy. Like, oh, I know this is coming out. Wait till they see this one. It must really drive you nuts, thinking I have to wait on it, but you know what's coming.
Oh
Does
man.
that drive you a little wacky too?
I have this kind of running joke with my fans. I do a lot of Facebook Lives. And I'll always be like, trust me, there's something cool coming. I can't tell you what it is yet. And I feel like I say this every time.
You can never tell.
I can never tell people like what I'm working on in the moment, but I will tell you one thing that is sort of semi-announced, not entirely, but I think you'll appreciate it since you were an English teacher.
I'm retired, so don't worry about anything.
Yes, I have to watch how I'm phrasing all of my sentences now. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to edit it all correctly,
Yes.
Olivia.
Oh yeah.
No.
Exactly. You'll take out all of my ums and likes.
As I will with mine as well.
Yeah. But you'll appreciate this. I finished my first novel this past year, and I'm getting ready to release that.
Fantastic. Is it semi-autobiographical? You said it's a novel, but is it? It's
Not
just
at all.
a novel?
Yeah, it's a
We don't
sci-fi
know.
time travel book, and it's so much fun. I had a blast writing it. I started with the idea about I want to say 4 or maybe 5 years ago, and it took that long to work out all of the intricacies because it is time travel and sci-fi. So I really wanted to be historically correct and also make sure that the plot didn't have any holes, because when you're working with time travel, oh man, you can miss something so fast.
And the
you'll
fans
be
are
like-
going to pick up on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sci-fi fans will know, yeah.
It was a blast getting to create these characters though, and just I feel honored to get to bring it to life. I know that sounds silly because it's an idea I
Not
created.
at all. No, not at all. It doesn't sound silly at all. Can you all come back on when all this happens? And I know you have things come. It was such a joy speaking with you all.
Pleasure to meet you too, and absolutely.
It was really my pleasure. And I want to thank Mike D'Urso for helping me set this interview up. Family, you have an exclusive. You have something to tell us, to share with us. Please do.
Well, it's pretty exciting. As you know, as you've seen throughout this entire interview, we do work together on a lot of things. And this is the first time that we are kind of going into my dad's space because he is incredible. He's the guy that literally started these artist branded cruises back in like 2001. And so that sort of morphed into this new company, which is not really new. It's been going for 6 years or something now, called Music Getaways. And it's incredible. He does music festivals a lot south of the border, but basically the definition of music getaways is it's your favorite music at your favorite destinations. So it's always like a vacation all together with a festival.
Not to interrupt.
Yeah.
Props to you, Warren, because you were the forerunner of these cruise, these great jazz cruises and music cruises. So great going, Warren, really.
Well, and so segue into what Olivia's saying. So we're now, because Olivia's been very, very integral, and Tamara, it's still, even though it's I'm the CEO of Music Getaways, it's really a family business, and we're starting a brand for Olivia as well at festivals, and they're called Rox Fest, ROX Fest, and
Fantastic.
this is a idea from her brainchild, to go through the decades. She's like, you could probably hear it in her music, she really pays a lot of respect to who came before her and everything.
Absolutely, it's very evident.
Totally, right? She's got 70s. I mean, she did Black Dog, Zeppelin on my record, and she's studied that music in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, everything. So she's curating these festivals, and they're going to take you through the decades. We're really going to get really deep into it in October of next year, because we're actually going to do 70s, 80s, 90s, zeros, 10s, and the current one, all Rox Fest brand. but they're going to kick it off this May in Los Cabos, Mexico. And these are the very first Rox Fest. One of them is a totally 80s theme, and then the other one is a classic rock theme. Olivia will perform on the totally 80s. She's going to perform this same night as Belinda Carlisle, but also on the festival is Belinda Carlisle, Kenny Loggins, Brett Michaels, Rick Springfield,
Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo.
And that goes into the
what a lineup.
Right, classic rock one is Beach Boys and Ann Wilson and John Fogerty. So just like legends.
So basically no one, right? I mean, yeah.
When are you gonna get some names on these?
Oh,
this
man.
Rox Fest? Wow, brilliant.
Dude, you're actually the first. Your show, when this comes out, this is the first time anyone's going to hear about Olivia's Rox Fest. So,
Yes.
And I thank you so much for telling us this. I when the time comes, I'm sure we'll see it on the songbird-musicgroup.com and on oliviarox.com and getaway.
Musicgetaways.com. Music Getaway.
Knowing knowing this family, everyone will hear about it. That's what's so great about you as well. So
thank you. And also a little tip, it will be going on sale to the mailing lists first. So if you want to sign up for my mailing list, that's on my website. You can also sign up for the Music Getaways mailing list, but I do highly recommend signing up for my mailing list first. Wink, wink. And it's
advice, brilliant advice.
Yeah, but I think it's really cool to be able to bring this brand to the surface because I know I'm a young artist. I know I'm 22, so I'm not trying to say, oh my gosh, I know everything about these artists, who have come before me. But I do think it's important for a woman my age to appreciate who has come before and to really pay homage and respect, and because all of these artists are still going. They're still huge artists and incredible. And they've left an indelible mark on our society and our memories. They're basically the soundtrack to our life. So
I respect you for feeling that way.
Yeah. And I do see a lot of young artists who don't think they're, they don't pay respect to who.
If it didn't happen in their lifetime, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
They paved the way.
Yeah, exactly. The sounds that we hear now are all derived. They're samples from these songs. So I think that it's bringing a kind of well-rounded approach, saying music has no boundaries. Music has no age. Good music is going to be on Rox Fest.
Yeah. Olivia, I'll just tell one more tidbit since you're saying all that. She got to perform with Melissa Etheridge and the B-52s, all of them on stage together.
So fun.
At the award show. And she was actually paying tribute to Pat Benatar.
Yeah, that's true.
Pat wasn't there, but now you'll finally get a chance to meet her.
Yes.
But
I'm getting goosebumps hearing all these. Really.
And I remember Melissa Etheridge. It was a very proud moment for me because I loved Melissa Etheridge back in the day. It was one of my favorite artists. Still love her.
She's a badass.
She's such a badass. She's got a great voice. And Olivia's up there just wailing with her. And at the end of the song, Melissa looked at her. I have it on film. And she goes, "You are really," I won't say the one word, great. And I was like, awesome. Like, that was Melissa Etheridge. I'm like, Olivia, do you know who that was? She didn't really know at that time who she was, like the extent of it.
I was so young.
And you're so young. But I think it's really important to remember the people who paved the way for us,
And not even remember, because there's, like I said, they're still like huge artists. It's
about, they're relevant to a generation, that's for sure.
Exactly. It's about just kind of bringing it all together and saying that this is good music. This is solid music. And I think that's such a great thing and an honor to get to, share the stage with some of these people as well. I'm excited. It's going to be so fun.
There's so many artists out there who are just flash in the pan. These guys, they're the real deal.
Oh my gosh.
Like they are real musicians. Everyone that we're working are the real deal. So
it's going to be amazing. Festivals.
Yes.
I don't want to just take one artist, but I mean, you said John Fogerty, Warren. I said, John Fogerty. I mean, Creedence was such I mean, they're all fantastic. I shouldn't even have singled him out, but he doesn't do many things like this, many shows like this. You know, when you get a chance to see John Fogerty, you know, you go for it.
And he still sounds as good.
Yes, I saw him about 3 years ago in here in New Jersey. Unreal.
Crazy. He's some. I mean, he must. And Pat Benatar, same way. Like these are some singers who definitely took care of their voices and did the proper maintenance of.
They're professionals. Yeah.
Finally, to instrument. So yeah, I'm definitely. I can't wait. I can't wait till next May.
And neither can we.
For us. And speaking of great, then not to toot my horn, but the Jazz Fest, we have
no pun intended either there, right, Warren? Not
but you're gonna love this. And it doesn't have to be on the record, but Jazz Week, it's kind of like a legendary month of May that we're presenting down there. We have George Benson on the Jazz Fest. We have
George.
Gladys.
He's so
Gladys
sweet.
Knight. Gladys Knight's gonna be there.
Oh my heavens!
Who else won Jazz? Like the lineup's just crazy, right?
I don't know.
But just Gladys and George, that's insane. Tower Power.
Like you need more than that.
Right, I know.
Right.
And then Soul Fest, you've got like
Babyface.
insane-
Babyface is coming. It's just it's gonna be a crazy. We go 19 days straight of music.
Boy, I mean, thank you guys for keeping the music alive. I mean, music lovers like me, I'm a child of the 60s. That's how far back I go. And I appreciate, Olivia, I appreciate your music today. And Warren and Tamara, I appreciate all you've done in the music business and you continue to do. And you guys are just the best.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us on, and we hope to see you soon. Come to the
See you soon.
festival.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'd love to. And my wife would love to come with me as well.
Definitely. All right.
Thank you all. You're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care. All the
It's
best.
Bye-bye.
nice to meet you.
My
Bye.
pleasure.
A long time ago in a faraway land, there lived a young stable girl who had the misfortune of falling in love with a prince. Their forbidden love was pure and strong, but when the prince came of age by order of the king, he'd be forced to marry another, a horrible princess from another kingdom, whom he did not love, or, let's be honest, even like one bit. He still dreamed that he'd one day marry for true love, but alas, life's not always a fairy tale. Or is it?
Just above the rooftops, you can almost catch that shooting star, and everything will glisten as you let it, 'cause you will finally know just who you are. If only this could be a fairy tale, then I would be your shining star. If only could be a fairy tale, then it would all not seem so far away. If it's never pretend, then I swear in the end I'll see it. I found that it's never easy to meet somebody like you. I've always wanted this feeling, but only now is it true. And I know that I love you. If I am your princess, and I wear a dress, if it's never pretend, well, then I swear in the end I'll still love you. If I am your princess, and I wear a dress, if it's never pretend, then I swear in the end I'll see it too. Well, if I am your princess, and I wear a white dress, it's never pretend, so I swear in the end that I'll still love you.
You didn't really think he was going to go through with it, did you? Of course the prince marries the stable girl. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I mean, I suppose it's the end. I mean, I would assume there's going to be another video, like, you know, with kids and things, and they're running around, like, teaching them the bows and arrows and sword fighting and those kinds of things.
The full moon is just above the rooftops. You can almost catch that shooting star, and everything will glisten as you let it, 'cause you will finally know just who you are. If only this could be a fairy tale, then I would be your shining star. If only this could be a fairy tale, then it would all not seem so far away. But if I'm your princess, and I wear a white dress.
Classic pop culture. It's classic pop culture. Hosted by Steve Ludwig and Ludwig. It's classic pop culture. It's classic pop culture. It's classic pop culture.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.